Will you date me to my ex's wedding?
Sure, I'd be honored.
I pointed at the most dangerous man in the restaurant and said, him. I want him as my wedding date. My best friend choked on her wine. The Korean Mafia CEO looked up from his table, dark eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that made my knees weak. I had 30 seconds before security threw me out. This was either the best or worst decision of my life. I was going to do something monumentally stupid. Amara, this is insane, my best friend Jade hissed across the table at Seoul's most exclusive restaurant, her eyes wide with horror. You can't just walk up to a complete stranger and ask him to be your wedding date. Watch me. I downed the rest of my soju like it was liquid courage, because it was. Here's the thing about getting a wedding invitation from your ex-fiancé, it's bad. Getting one where he's marrying the woman he cheated on you with? Worse. Getting one where your entire family will be there, including your mother who won't stop asking why you're still single at 28? That's a special kind of hell that requires desperate measures. I scanned the restaurant, my dark eyes sweeping over Seoul's elite. I'd moved to Korea 3 years ago for work, and I'd learned quickly that this city didn't play around. Everything was appearances, status, power. And then I saw him. Corner booth. Tailored black suit that probably cost more than my apartment. Sharp jawline that could cut glass. Dark hair styled perfectly, not a strand out of place. He sat alone, completely still, radiating the kind of dangerous energy that made smart people keep their distance. He was absolutely perfect. That one, I said, pointing. Jade followed my finger and went pale. Amara. No. That's. Do you have any idea who that is? Someone who looks like he could make my ex weep with jealousy? That's Kang Min-jun. He owns half of Gangnam. The other half is too scared to tell him no. She grabbed my wrist. There are rumors, Amara. Serious rumors about his business associates. You mean the mafia? I mean the kind of people who make problems disappear. Permanently. I studied him again. He hadn't looked up from the document he was reading, completely unbothered by the world around him. There was something almost elegant about his stillness, like a predator conserving energy before the strike. My phone buzzed. Another text from my mother. Your cousin is bringing her new boyfriend. Very successful. When are you bringing someone? Don't embarrass the family. I stood up. Amara, sit down. I'm either getting a date or getting killed. Either way, I won't have to go to that wedding alone. My heels clicked against the marble floor. Every step toward his table felt like walking toward destiny, or disaster. Probably both. Security was already moving, 2 large men in suits stepping into my path. I just need 1 minute, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Mr. Kang doesn't take meetings. I'm not here for a meeting. I raised my voice just enough. I'm here to offer him a job. That made Kang Min-jun look up. Oh hell. His eyes were the darkest brown I'd ever seen, almost black, and they pinned me in place with an intensity that stole my breath. His face was even more devastating up close. Sharp features that belonged on a magazine cover, lips that were almost too perfect, and an expression of mild curiosity that somehow felt more dangerous than anger. He set down his pen with deliberate precision. You have 30 seconds before I have you removed. His voice was deep, accented, and sent shivers down my spine. I lifted my chin, channeling every ounce of confidence I didn't actually feel. I need a date to my ex-fiancé's wedding in 2 weeks. You need. I don't know, whatever mafia CEOs need. We can help each other. His expression didn't change. You think I need something from you? Everyone needs something. I'm offering a trade. I crossed my arms. Look, I know who you are. Sort of. The rumors, anyway. Which means you're exactly the kind of man who would make my cheating ex lose his mind with jealousy. You show up on my arm, look devastatingly handsome, which, let's be honest, won't be hard for you. Act possessive and dangerous for a few hours and boom. I get my dignity back. And what do I get? Good question. What does a man who has everything want? I thought fast. A favor. One favor, anything you want that doesn't involve murder, drugs, or illegal organ harvesting. I'm a marketing executive. I'm creative, resourceful, and excellent at problem solving. Plus, I make a killer presentation. Something flickered in his eyes. Amusement? Interest? It was gone too fast to tell. You walked up to a stranger in a restaurant and offered yourself as payment for a fake date. I offered my professional services as payment. Get your mind out of the gutter, Mr. Kang. I smiled sweetly, though I appreciate that you find the idea tempting. His lips twitched. It wasn't quite a smile, but it was close. You're either very brave or very stupid. I'm very desperate. There's a difference. I leaned forward, dropping my voice. Come on. When's the last time you did something just because it was fun? No business deals, no power plays. Just pure, petty revenge against someone who deserves it. He studied me for a long moment, his gaze traveling from my braids down to my dress and back up again. I refused to squirm under the scrutiny. Finally, he stood. He was taller than I expected, and being this close to him made my heart race in a way that had nothing to do with fear. He pulled out a business card and handed it to me. My office. Monday, 9 a.m. If you're late, the deal is off. Wait, you're actually saying yes? I'm saying I'm intrigued. Whether I actually attend this wedding depends on Monday's audition. Audition. He leaned in close enough that I could smell his cologne, something expensive and masculine that made my brain short-circuit. If we're going to convince people we're together, Miss Amara Okafor. Miss Okafor. Then we need to make sure we're compatible. His breath ghosted against my ear. I don't do anything halfway. If I'm going to be your date, we're going to make it believable. Which means... His hand slid around my waist, pulling me flush against him. My gasp was swallowed by the sudden heat between us, the restaurant disappearing until there was only him, his dark eyes boring into mine, his body solid and warm against me. You need to be able to handle me touching you like this without flinching, he finished, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Can you do that, Amara? My name on his lips sent electricity racing down my spine. I met his gaze, refusing to back down even as my pulse thundered. The question is, can you handle me, Mr. Kang? His smile was slow, predatory, and absolutely devastating. Monday, 9 a.m. Don't disappoint me. He released me and stepped back, leaving me breathless and slightly dizzy. I somehow made it back to my table on shaky legs. Jade stared at me like I'd grown a second head. What just happened? I looked down at the business card in my trembling hand. I think, I said slowly, I just made a deal with the devil. And the terrifying part? I couldn't wait for Monday. What does Min-jun have planned for this audition? And why did Korea's most dangerous CEO actually say yes to a complete stranger? My mom said this video won't hit 10,000 views. She said nobody wants to hear about how I fake dated a mafia boss to my ex's wedding. Please prove her wrong. Smash that subscribe button and like this video right now and comment where you are watching from. You won't believe what happens when he actually says yes, and what he demands in return. I changed outfits 7 times Monday morning. Professional? Too boring. Sexy? Too obvious. Casual? Too dismissive. I finally settled on a burgundy wrap dress that hugged my curves without screaming trying too hard, and paired it with heels that made my legs look incredible. If I was going to be auditioned by a mafia CEO, I was going to look damn good doing it. Kang Enterprises occupied the top 15 floors of one of Gangnam's most impressive skyscrapers. The lobby alone was more luxurious than most people's homes. All marble, gold accents, and floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked Seoul like a kingdom. His kingdom, apparently. Miss Okafor? A woman in a crisp suit approached. Mr. Kang is expecting you. This way, please. The elevator ride to the penthouse floor felt like ascending to heaven, or hell. I still wasn't sure which. The doors opened directly into his office, and I had to fight to keep my jaw from dropping. The space was massive, minimalist, and absolutely breathtaking. One entire wall was windows, giving an unobstructed view of the city. The furniture was sleek and modern, all black leather and dark wood. And there he was. Min-jun stood by the windows, hands in his pockets, looking like he'd walked straight out of a photo shoot. Today's suit was charcoal gray, fitted perfectly to his broad shoulders and lean frame. His hair was slightly less styled than Friday night, a few strands falling across his forehead in a way that was unfairly attractive. He turned as I entered, and those dark eyes swept over me with an intensity that made my skin heat. "You're early," he said. "I like that. You said don't be late. I'm a woman who follows instructions." I stepped further into the office, my heels clicking on the hardwood. When they make sense. That almost smile again. And when they don't make sense? Then I improvise. I stopped a few feet away from him, maintaining eye contact. "So, how does one audition to be a fake girlfriend to a mafia CEO? Is there a talent portion? Do I need to demonstrate my ability to look adoringly at you while you discuss illegal imports or whatever?" "I don't deal in illegal imports." "Right. Legal imports of illegal things." He actually laughed, a low, rich sound that did dangerous things to my pulse. "You're not afraid of me at all, are you?" "Oh, I'm terrified," I admitted. "But I'm more afraid of showing up to my ex's wedding alone while my mother introduces me to every single man in Lagos as a wonderful girl who just hasn't found the right person yet." "So fear is relative." Min-jun moved closer, each step deliberate. "Tell me about this ex-fiancé." "His name is David. We met in university, dated for 5 years, got engaged. I thought we were planning our future together. Turns out he was planning his future with my former best friend Michelle. Found them together in our apartment 6 months before the wedding." Something dark flashed across Min-jun's face. "He cheated." Enthusiastically and repeatedly, according to the timeline I pieced together afterward. I shrugged, trying to appear casual about the memory that still stung. "The worst part? He had the audacity to invite me to their wedding because we should all be mature adults about this. And you said yes." "My mother said yes before I could stop her. Apparently, declining would be admitting defeat, and would shame the family. So here we are." Min-jun was close now, close enough that I could see the flecks of gold in his dark eyes. "And you think showing up with me will... what? Make him jealous?" "I think showing up with a man who looks like you, radiates power like you, and could probably buy David's entire company with pocket change will make him realize exactly what he lost." I tilted my head. "Plus, the barely concealed danger is a nice touch. Really drives home the she upgraded message." He reached out, his fingers brushing a braid back from my face. The touch was gentle, almost tender, but the heat in his eyes was anything but. "You're using me as a weapon." "I'm using you as a statement piece. There's a difference." "Is there?" His thumb traced along my jawline, and I forgot how to breathe. "You want me to pretend to be yours for a night. To touch you, hold you, look at you like you're the only woman in the room. To make every man there wish they were me and every woman wish they were you." "That's, yes. Exactly that." "And after? When the wedding is over and you've gotten your revenge?" I hadn't thought that far ahead. "Then we go our separate ways. You call in your favor whenever you need it, and we both get what we want." His hand slid to the back of my neck, fingers tangling in my braids. The gesture was possessive, claiming, and it sent heat pooling low in my belly. "Here's the problem, Amara. I don't do things halfway. If I'm going to be your date, we need to be convincing. Which means we need chemistry." "We have chemistry," I breathed. "Do we?" He pulled me closer, until our bodies were almost touching. "Prove it." My heart was hammering so hard I was sure he could hear it. "What?" "Kiss me." The words hung in the air between us, a challenge and an invitation. "This is the audition?" I asked, trying to sound steady. "You want me to kiss you?" "I want to see if you can kiss me like you mean it. Like I'm the man you chose, not just a convenient prop." His voice dropped lower, more intimate. "Like you want me." Oh, wanting him was not going to be the problem. I rose on my tiptoes, bringing my lips close to his. And if I pass this audition, then I'll make your ex-fiancé regret ever letting you go. His breath mingled with mine. I'll make every person in that wedding wish they were us. I'll play the role so well, you'll forget it's fake. That sounds dangerous. It is. His lips brushed against mine, barely a touch. Still want to do this? I answered by closing the distance. The kiss started soft, tentative, testing. His lips were warm and surprisingly gentle, moving against mine with a skill that made my knees weak. I pressed closer, my hands sliding up his chest to his shoulders, feeling the solid muscle beneath the expensive fabric. That's when everything changed. Min-jun made a low sound in his throat and deepened the kiss, his hand tightening in my braids as his other arm wrapped around my waist, pulling me flush against him. The gentleness vanished, replaced by hunger that took my breath away. I kissed him back with everything I had, pouring months of anger and hurt and loneliness into it, and he took it all. His tongue swept against mine, claiming, demanding, and I gave as good as I got. This wasn't some sweet fake dating kiss. This was real, raw, and absolutely devastating. When we finally broke apart, we were both breathing hard. Well, I managed, my voice shakier than I wanted. How was that for chemistry? His eyes were molten, his control clearly frayed. You're hired. I laughed, giddy with relief and residual heat. Just like that. Just like that. He released me slowly, like he didn't quite want to. But we need to establish some ground rules. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. I'm listening. He walked to his desk, putting distance between us. Probably smart, given the electricity still crackling in the air. First, we need a believable backstory. How we met, how long we've been together. It needs to be airtight. Agreed. We could say we met through work. Too boring. Your ex won't believe you moved on with someone boring. He leaned against his desk, arms crossed. We met at an art gallery opening. You were there for work, marketing some artist. I was there because I collect art. You caught my eye, I approached you, you turned me down. I raised an eyebrow. I turned you down? Twice. I'm persistent. Eventually, you agreed to dinner. I've been obsessed with you ever since. The way he said it, looking directly at me, made it sound almost true. 3 months. Long enough to be serious, short enough that your family hasn't met me yet. That works. I pulled out my phone to make notes. What else? We need to spend time together before the wedding. If we show up looking like strangers, no one will believe it. My stomach fluttered. Spend time together how? Dates. Dinners. I need to know how you take your coffee, what makes you laugh, what you look like when you're relaxed versus when you're nervous. He pushed off the desk. And you need to know the same about me. When I touch you at this wedding, it needs to feel natural. Familiar. He was right, but the thought of spending more time with him, of more moments like that kiss, felt dangerous. Okay. So we date. For real. To prepare for the fake dating. Exactly. He moved closer again, and I wondered if he knew what his proximity did to me. One more thing. What? The favor you promised me. I'm calling it in now. My breath caught. Now? But we haven't even. I want you to move in with me. The world tilted. Excuse me. 2 weeks until the wedding. We need to be comfortable with each other, and the best way to do that is to share space. You'll stay in my penthouse. Separate bedrooms, he added, reading my expression. But we'll have breakfast together, dinner when I'm free, and you'll be there when I get home at night. Like a real couple. This was insane. I barely knew this man. He could be a serial killer. He was definitely a criminal of some kind. Moving in with him was... okay. The word came out before I could stop it. His smile was slow and satisfied. Good. Pack a bag. My driver will pick you up tonight at 7. Tonight? Don't you think we should? He pulled me to him again, one hand on my hip, the other cupping my face. The sudden movement stole my breath. "Amara," he murmured, his thumb brushing my lower lip. "If we're going to convince everyone that I'm crazy about you, I need to actually spend time being crazy about you. Starting now." Then he kissed me again, softer this time but no less devastating. When he pulled back, I was dizzy. 7 o'clock. "Don't be late." I nodded, too dazed to form words. As I left his office, my phone buzzed. A text from my mother with a photo of David and Michelle looking nauseatingly happy. "Such a lovely couple. You should find someone soon, Amara. Time is running out." I looked back at the office door, thinking about the dangerous, gorgeous man behind it. "Oh, Mom. Just you wait." I stood outside Min-jun's building at 6:58 p.m. with 2 suitcases and a crisis of sanity. What was I doing? I'd known this man for 3 days. 3 days. And I was about to move into his penthouse like some kind of Miss Okafor? A driver in a black suit appeared beside a sleek Mercedes. "Mr. Kong is waiting." Too late to back out now. The drive up to the penthouse level felt eternal. My stomach twisted with nerves, excitement, and something I refused to name. The elevator doors opened directly into his home, and I stepped into a space that took my breath away. The penthouse was stunning, all floor-to-ceiling windows with Seoul glittering below like scattered diamonds, modern furniture in blacks and grays, art that probably cost more than my yearly salary. It was elegant, masculine, and completely intimidating. "You came." I spun around to find Min-jun standing in the doorway of what must be the kitchen, wearing dark slacks and a white dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up. No tie, top button undone, hair slightly mussed like he'd run his hands through it. He looked unfairly good. "You sound surprised," I said, wheeling my suitcases inside. "I keep my promises." "So do I." He moved closer, taking my bags like they weighed nothing. "Come. I'll show you your room." He led me down a hallway to a bedroom that was bigger than my entire apartment. Minimalist decor, a massive bed with silk sheets, another wall of windows, and an ensuite bathroom that looked like a spa. "This is, wow." I turned to him. "You live like this every day?" "Money has its perks." He set my suitcases down. "Get settled. I made dinner reservations for 8. Tonight? I just got here." No time like the present. He leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "We're dating, remember? Couples go on dates. Wear something nice. I have a reputation to maintain." The arrogance should have annoyed me. Instead, it made me want to kiss that smirk off his face. "Fine. But if this restaurant doesn't have good food, I'm rating this fake relationship 1 star." His laugh followed me as he left. An hour later, I emerged in a black cocktail dress that hugged every curve, my braids swept over one shoulder, gold jewelry catching the light. Min-jun was waiting by the elevator, and the way his eyes darkened when he saw me made me feel powerful. "You look incredible," he said, his voice rougher than usual. "I clean up okay." I did a little spin. "Will I embarrass you in front of Seoul's elite?" He crossed to me in 2 strides, his hand sliding around my waist. "You could never embarrass me. You'll outshine everyone there." The compliment, delivered with such sincerity, caught me off guard. "Min-jun." "We should practice," he interrupted. "Practice what?" "Being comfortable with each other." His other hand came up to cup my face, thumb stroking my cheek. "At the wedding, I'll touch you like this. Hold you. People will be watching for any sign that we're not real." My heart raced. And how do real couples act? Like they can't keep their hands off each other. He stepped closer, eliminating the space between us. Like touching is as natural as breathing. He was right. But having him this close, his body warm against mine, his scent surrounding me, it didn't feel like practice. It felt dangerously real. "Maybe we should establish some boundaries," I said, trying to sound rational. "Physical boundaries. So neither of us gets confused." His eyes gleamed with amusement. "Confused about what?" "About what's real and what's fake. And if the line gets blurred?" His lips brushed my temple, sending shivers down my spine. What then? I pulled back, needing distance to think clearly. Then we remember this is a business arrangement. You get your favor, I get my dignity back. Clean and simple. Something flickered across his face, disappointment. But it was gone in an instant. Of course. Business. The restaurant was exclusive, the kind of place where celebrities and politicians dined behind privacy screens. We were led to a corner table with a view of the Han River, and Min-jun ordered in rapid Korean that made the waiter practically bow with respect. What did you just order? I asked once we were alone. Everything. I don't know what you like yet, so we'll try it all. That's very inefficient. That's very thorough. He poured us both wine. Tell me about Lagos. Your family. I need to know what I'm walking into. I took a sip, gathering my thoughts. My family is loud, opinionated, and extremely invested in everyone else's business. My mother thinks I wasted my potential by moving to Korea instead of marrying David and giving her grandchildren. My father is more supportive but refuses to contradict my mother. I have 2 younger brothers who will definitely try to intimidate you. I look forward to it. You say that now. Wait until they start the interrogation. I smiled despite myself. They're going to ask you everything. Your intentions, your job, your 5-year plan, your stance on children. I want 3. I choked on my wine. What? Children. 3 seems like a good number. He said it so casually, like we were discussing the weather. 2 boys, 1 girl. Though I'll love them regardless of the combination. This fake relationship was getting dangerously detailed. And have you picked out names too? Not yet. I'd want my wife to help with that. His eyes held mine. Marriage is a partnership. Very progressive for a mafia CEO. I'm full of surprises. The food started arriving, dish after beautiful dish. Now, tell me what makes Amara Okafor laugh. The question surprised me. Random things. Bad puns. People falling in movies. That moment when someone is trying to be serious, but a dog does something ridiculous in the background. He pulled out his phone and, after a moment, turned it to show me a video of a news anchor trying to report while a dog stole his shoe. I burst out laughing. There it is, he said softly, watching me with an expression I couldn't read. That's what I needed to see. What? You. Happy. Unguarded. He reached across the table, taking my hand. His thumb traced circles on my palm. You've been hurt, Amara. By your ex, by people you trusted. But you're still brave enough to laugh. To take risks. To walk up to a stranger and ask for help. The sincerity in his voice made my chest tight. Min-jun. I meant what I said earlier. I'm going to make your ex regret ever letting you go. Not just because of our deal. His grip tightened. But because someone who could hurt you like that doesn't deserve a second of your time or thoughts. Tears pricked my eyes, and I blinked them back. Why are you being so nice to me? Maybe I like you. You don't even know me. Then let me. He stood, pulling me up with him. Dance with me. There's no music. But he was already pulling me close, one hand on my waist, the other holding mine. He hummed something low and melodic, swaying gently, and I found myself following his lead. We danced between tables in an exclusive restaurant, and nobody stopped us. Nobody dared. You're good at this, I murmured against his chest. I'm good at a lot of things. I could hear the smile in his voice. You'll discover them all eventually. Cocky. Confident. There's a difference. I tilted my head back to look at him, and the tenderness in his expression made my breath catch. This didn't feel like practice. This felt like something real, something growing between us whether I wanted it or not. Min-jun, what are we doing? Dancing. You know what I mean. He stopped moving, his hand coming up to cup my face. I know exactly what you mean. And I don't have a good answer. His thumb brushed my lips. All I know is that when I'm with you, I forget about everything else. The business, the pressure, the expectations. You make me want to be more. More what? More than what I am. Better than what I am. My heart was hammering. You barely know me. I know you're brave. I know you're funny. I know you kiss like you're trying to prove something. His lips curved. I know you take your coffee with 2 sugars and no cream. I know you bite your lip when you're nervous. I know you're terrified right now, but you won't back down. How do you know all that? Because I pay attention. He leaned down until our foreheads touched. And because I haven't been able to stop thinking about you since Friday night. This was dangerous territory. We had rules. Boundaries. This was supposed to be fake. But when he kissed me, soft and sweet and achingly tender, it felt like the most real thing I'd ever experienced. We broke apart slowly, both breathing hard. We should go home, he said, his voice rough. Home. He'd said home, not his place. Like it was already ours. The drive back was silent, charged with electricity. In the elevator, he held my hand. At his door, our door, he pulled me close. Separate bedrooms, he reminded me. Right. Separate. Unless. My breath caught. Unless. He backed me against the wall, his body caging mine. Unless you don't want them to be. Every rational thought screamed at me to say yes, keep the boundaries, protect my heart. Instead, I grabbed his shirt and pulled him down to me. The kiss was explosive. His hands were everywhere. My waist, my hips, sliding up my back. I wrapped my arms around his neck, pressing closer, needing more. He lifted me effortlessly, my legs wrapping around his waist as he carried me down the hall. My room or yours? He growled against my lips. I don't care. His phone rang. We both froze. It rang again, the sound shrill and insistent. Ignore it, I breathed. But he was already setting me down, his expression shifting from heated to cold in an instant. He looked at the screen and cursed in Korean. I have to take this. He stepped back, running a hand through his hair. I'm sorry. This is important. The moment shattered. He answered in rapid Korean, his voice hard, his body tense. Whatever this call was about, it wasn't good. I straightened my dress, trying to calm my racing heart, feeling foolish and confused and he looked at me while talking, his expression unreadable. Then he said something sharp into the phone and hung up. Amara. It's fine. You have work. I get it. It's not work. He crossed to me. It's complicated. Everything about you is complicated. I know. And I'm sorry. He cupped my face, forcing me to meet his eyes. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that? I don't even know what I'm trusting you with. I know. And I'll explain everything. Soon. I promise. He kissed my forehead. But right now, I need to handle this. Go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Then he was gone, leaving me alone in a penthouse that suddenly felt too big and too empty. I made my way to my room, closing the door behind me. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. My blood ran cold as I read it. Ask your new boyfriend about the Busan deal. Ask him what he's really involved in. And ask him why someone just put a price on his head, and now yours too. I didn't sleep. How could I? Someone had my number, my private number, and was threatening my life. And Min-jun's. The man I'd moved in with. The man I'd kissed like my life depended on it just hours ago. The man I apparently knew nothing about. At 6 a.m., I gave up pretending to sleep and padded to the kitchen in my pajama shorts and tank top. The sunrise over Seoul was breathtaking, painting the sky in oranges and pinks, but I couldn't appreciate it. My mind was racing. You're up early. I spun around to find Min-jun leaning against the kitchen doorway, looking exhausted. He was still in last night's clothes, now wrinkled, his hair disheveled. Dark circles shadowed his eyes. Did you sleep at all? I asked. No. He moved to the coffee maker, his movements stiff. Coffee. Min-jun, we need to talk. I know. Someone sent me a message last night. About you. About Busan. About, I pulled out my phone, hands shaking. About a hit. On both of us. He went completely still, his back to me. When he finally turned around, his expression was carved from ice. Show me. I handed him my phone. Watched his jaw clench as he read. When did you get this? Right after you left. Who knows my number? Who's threatening us? He set the phone down carefully, too carefully. I need you to pack your things. My stomach dropped. What? It's not safe for you here. I have a secure location. Are you seriously trying to send me away right now? Anger flared hot in my chest. Someone threatens my life and your solution is to hide me somewhere? How about you explain what the hell is going on? Amara, you don't understand. Then make me understand. I grabbed his arm, forcing him to look at me. The Busan deal. What is it? He pulled away, pacing to the windows. The morning light made him look younger, more vulnerable. 6 months ago, there was a business opportunity in Busan. Legitimate on paper, a real estate development. But the people involved, they wanted to use it for money laundering. Human trafficking. My blood ran cold. They approached me because of my connections, my resources. Thought I'd be interested in the profit margins. His voice was flat, emotionless. I turned them down. Reported them to the authorities through unofficial channels. The deal fell apart. A lot of very dangerous people lost a lot of money. And now they want revenge. Now they want me dead. He turned to face me. But you weren't supposed to be involved. This threat against you, it's because you're with me. Because they think hurting you will hurt me. The implications hit me like a truck. So this whole thing, our deal, it's put a target on my back. Yes. I should run. Should grab my things and get as far from Min-jun as possible. This was insane. Life-threatening. Completely beyond what I'd signed up for. Instead, I asked, why did you say yes to me? He blinked, clearly not expecting the question. What? Friday night. I was a random stranger asking you to be my wedding date. You could have had me thrown out. But you said yes. Why? He was quiet for a long moment. Because you walked up to the most dangerous man in the room and didn't flinch. Because you offered me something no one else ever has. A favor? You don't need favors. You have everything. Not a favor. He crossed to me, cupping my face with both hands. You offered me a chance to be normal. To do something just because it was fun. No business, no danger, no calculations. Just petty revenge and making your ex jealous. It sounded perfect. My heart cracked a little. And now? Now I've dragged you into my world and I can't forgive myself for it. His thumb brushed away a tear I didn't know had fallen. I should let you go. Should cancel our deal and make sure you're safe. But I'm a selfish bastard who doesn't want to let you go. His voice broke. These 3 days with you have been the best I've had in years. You make me laugh. You challenge me. You look at me like I'm just a man, not a monster or a meal ticket or a business opportunity. Just me. I was crying now, really crying. You should have told me the truth from the beginning. I know. I'm sorry. I thought I could handle it, keep you separate from this part of my life. I was wrong. So what now? He pressed his forehead to mine. Now I give you a choice. Walk away. I'll make sure you're protected, that these people never touch you. You go to your ex's wedding alone, or with someone safe, and you forget you ever met me. Or you stay. You trust me to keep you safe. We finish what we started. His eyes searched mine. But if you stay, Amara, I need you to understand something. This isn't fake anymore. Not for me. Somewhere between Friday night and right now, this became real. You became real to me. My breath caught. Min-jun. I'm falling for you. Maybe I have been since you pointed at me in that restaurant and decided I was worth the risk. He smiled sadly. So if you stay, you're not just staying for a wedding date. You're staying for me. For us. For whatever this could become. This was crazy. Absolutely insane. I'd known this man for 3 days. He was involved in dangerous things. Someone wanted us dead. But when I looked into his eyes, I saw something that terrified me more than any threat. I saw my future. I need you to promise me something, I said. Anything. No more secrets. If we're doing this, really doing this, I need complete honesty. About your business, about the danger, about everything. I promise. And you have to teach me how to protect myself. I'm not going to be some helpless damsel you have to rescue. If I'm in danger, I want to be able to fight back. Pride flashed across his face. Deal. And one more thing. What? I grabbed his shirt, pulling him down to me. Kiss me like you mean it. Like this is real. Because if I'm risking my life for this, for you, I want to make sure it's worth it. His smile was devastating. Yes, ma'am. The kiss was different this time. Not heated or desperate, but deep and honest and full of promise. He kissed me like I was precious, like I was his, like he'd move heaven and earth to keep me safe. When we broke apart, we were both smiling. So, I said, slightly breathless. What's the plan? First, we trace that message. Find out who sent it. He was already shifting into business mode, but his hand stayed on my waist. Then we make a statement. What kind of statement? The kind that shows I'm not backing down. That you're under my protection. That anyone who touches you will have to go through me. His eyes hardened. We go to the Choi Charity Gala tonight. Every major player in Seoul will be there, including some of the people behind the Busan deal. You want to use me as bait. I want to show them you're mine. He pulled me closer. And that I protect what's mine. The possessiveness should have annoyed me. Instead, it made me feel safe. Cherished. This is insane, I muttered. Completely. He kissed my temple. Still in. I thought about David and Michelle's wedding. About proving my mother wrong. About the past 3 days of laughter and heat and connection. About the man holding me like I was the most important thing in his world. I'm in. I pulled back to look at him. But after the gala, we're going on a real date. Somewhere normal. No danger, no business deals, no death threats. Just you and me. Where do you want to go? That pojangmaka you can see from your office window. The street food stall with the red tent. I want cheap soju and tteokbokki and to sit on plastic stools and just be normal. His expression softened. You've been watching that pojangmaka? Every day this week. The woman who runs it smiles at every customer. It looks happy there. Simple. Then that's where we'll go. He kissed me again, soft and sweet. After tonight. After tonight, I agreed. He stepped back, all business again. Okay. I'll have my team trace the message while we prepare for tonight. You'll need a dress, something that makes a statement. I'll have options sent up. Min-jun, I can buy my own dress. Not for this event. Trust me. He was already texting someone. This gala is high stakes. Everyone will be watching. What exactly am I walking into? He looked at me, really looked at me, and I saw the conflict in his eyes. A room full of sharks. Some of them want me dead. All of them will be watching to see if you're a weakness they can exploit. And how do we make sure they don't see me as a weakness? He smiled, slow and dangerous. We show them you're my greatest strength. 3 hours later, my room looked like a high-end boutique had exploded. Dresses in every color, each more stunning than the last. Shoes, jewelry, even undergarments that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I chose a deep emerald green gown that hugged my curves like a second skin, with a slit up one thigh and a back that dipped dangerously low. Bold. Confident. Unforgettable. When I emerged that evening, Min-jun froze mid-conversation on his phone. He stared at me like I'd stolen his breath. Is it too much? I asked, suddenly nervous. He ended the call without saying goodbye, crossing to me in long strides. You're perfect. Absolutely perfect. You clean up pretty well yourself. He was in a tailored tuxedo that made him look like he'd stepped off a runway. Dangerous and sophisticated and completely mesmerizing. Ready? He asked, offering his arm. I took it, feeling the solid strength of him. Ready. In the car, he briefed me on who would be at the gala. Names, faces, connections. My head spun with information. Amara. He took my hand. If at any point you feel unsafe, you tell me. We leave immediately. I trust you. You shouldn't. His grip tightened. But I'm grateful you do. The gala was at one of Seoul's most prestigious hotels. We arrived to camera flashes and whispered speculation. Min-jun kept me close, his hand possessive on my lower back as we navigated through the crowd. Every eye was on us. They're staring, I whispered. Let them. He pulled me closer. Let them see exactly who you belong to. We made our rounds. Min-jun introduced me as his girlfriend, and I played the part perfectly. Charming, confident, completely at ease on his arm. But I felt the undercurrents. The calculating looks. The fake smiles hiding real threats. Kang Min-jun. A man approached, older, with cold eyes and a colder smile. I heard you had a new companion. Mr. Park. Min-jun's voice was ice. Amara, this is Park Jin-woo. He was one of the investors in the Busan project. The threat that had sent me that message. My blood ran cold, but I smiled. Mr. Park. How lovely to meet you.
You
The
know
pleasure
exactly
is
what you
mine.
did!
His eyes raked over me in a way that made my skin crawl. Tell me, miss. Okafor, I supplied. Amara Okafor. Miss Okafor. What does a beautiful woman like you see in a man like Kang? Min-jun tensed beside me, but I squeezed his hand. My turn. Everything. I looked up at Min-jun with genuine affection. He's brilliant, protective, and makes me laugh. Plus, he's excellent in bed. Min-jun interrupted smoothly, pulling me against him. She was going to say bed. I blushed on cue, and Park's smile turned predatory. How charming. Young love. He leaned closer. Word of advice, Miss Okafor. Men like Kang have many enemies. Being close to him can be hazardous to your health. Min-jun went rigid, but I laughed. Actually laughed. Mr. Park, I appreciate the concern. Really. I stepped closer to the older man, lowering my voice. But I'm not some delicate flower who needs protecting. I chose Min-jun knowing exactly who he is. And if anyone wants to get to him. I smiled, sweet as poison. They'll have to go through me first. Park's expression darkened. Brave words. Not brave. Honest. I turned back to Min-jun. Darling, I think I need some air. We walked away, and I felt Park's eyes burning into my back. On the balcony, Min-jun pulled me into his arms. That was incredibly stupid and incredibly hot. Did I overdo it? You were perfect. He kissed me, deep and claiming. But now he knows you're not going anywhere. Good. I kissed him back. Because I'm not. Music drifted from inside. He pulled me into a dance, right there under the stars. After tonight, he murmured against my hair, Pojangmaka and soju. Promise. Promise. We swayed together, and for a moment, the danger faded. It was just us, dancing under the Seoul sky, falling deeper into something that had stopped being fake days ago. Then his phone buzzed. He checked it and went pale. What? What is it? He showed me the message. A photo of us dancing, taken from inside the gala. Below it, she's brave. Let's see if she bleeds brave too. Tomorrow. The wedding venue. Come alone or she dies. My hands shook. They know about the wedding. They know everything. His voice was deadly calm. And they're going to regret it. He pulled me close, his body shaking with rage. I won't let them touch you. I swear it. What do we do? He looked at me, eyes blazing. We give them exactly what they want. But on our terms. Min-jun. Do you trust me? I thought about the past 3 days. The kisses, the confessions, the way he looked at me like I was his entire world. With my life. Then trust me now. He kissed me, hard and desperate. Because tomorrow, we end this. Together. The morning of the wedding, I woke up to find Min-jun's side of the bed empty. Yes, his side. Because after the gala, after the death threat, after he'd held me while I cried from fear and adrenaline, I'd refused to sleep alone. We'd fallen asleep tangled together, his arms around me like a shield. Now I found him on the balcony, shirtless in the early morning light, on the phone speaking rapid Korean. His back was tense, muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. I wrapped a blanket around myself and joined him. He immediately pulled me against his side, still talking, his hand possessive on my hip. When he hung up, I asked, "What's the plan?" "We go to the wedding. Act normal. My security team will be positioned throughout the venue, guests, staff, even a waiter who's actually my best sniper." He tilted my chin up. "You'll have a tracker on you at all times. If anything happens, I'll find you in seconds." "And the people who threatened us?" His smile was cold. "They're expecting me to come alone and scared. Instead, I'm bringing an army." He kissed my forehead. "By the end of today, this will be over. I promise." "And us?" I asked quietly. "What happens to us?" His expression softened. "That depends on you. After today, you're free from danger. Free from our deal. You can walk away with your dignity, your revenge against your ex, and never look back." "And if I don't want to walk away?" "Then I'm going to spend every day proving I deserve you." He cupped my face. "I'm falling in love with you, Amara. Maybe I already have. And when this is over, I want to date you for real. No fake relationship, no business arrangement. Just you and me figuring this out together." Tears stung my eyes. "You're supposed to say that after you save my life, not before. That's how romance works." He laughed, pulling me close. "I've never been good at following rules. I've noticed." I rose on my tiptoes, kissing him softly. "For the record, I'm falling for you too. Probably have been since you agreed to this insane plan. Then let's survive today so we can have tomorrow." 4 hours later, I stood outside the wedding venue in Lagos, sweating in the Nigerian heat, wearing a gold dress that made me look like royalty. Min-jun stood beside me in a tailored navy suit, looking like every woman's fantasy and every man's nightmare. "Ready?" he asked. "To watch my ex marry the woman he cheated with while armed men hunt us?" "Sure. Just another Saturday." I squeezed his hand. "Let's do this." The moment we walked in, every head turned. My mother's jaw dropped. My father's eyes widened. My brothers immediately moved toward us like protective guard dogs. And David? David looked like he'd been punched in the stomach. "Amara," my mother breathed, rushing over. "You came. And who is this?" "Mama, this is Kang Min-jun. My boyfriend." I smiled up at him. "Min-jun, this is my mother, Adise." He bowed slightly, perfectly respectful. "Mrs. Okafor. Your daughter speaks of you constantly. It's an honor." My mother practically melted. "Oh, he's so polite. And handsome. Amara, why didn't you tell us?" "We wanted to keep it private," I said smoothly. "Min-jun is high profile in Seoul. We've been taking things slow." My brothers appeared, flanking us. "We need to talk to your boyfriend," the eldest, Chidi, announced. Min-jun didn't flinch. "Of course. I'd be disappointed if you didn't want to." They led him away, and I watched nervously until my mother grabbed my arm. "That man looks at you like you hung the moon. How did you meet?" What does he do? Are you serious? Before I could answer, Michelle appeared in her wedding dress, looking stunning and venomous. Amara, you came. Wouldn't miss it. I smiled sweetly. Congratulations. I see you brought a date. Someone you hired. Her eyes glittered with malice. We all know you've been single since David. It's okay to come alone, you know. No one would judge. There you are. Min-jun's voice cut through her words as he returned, immediately pulling me against him. Your brothers are terrifying. I like them. He kissed my temple, so natural, so possessive, and I saw Michelle's face go red. This is Min-jun, I said. Min-jun, this is Michelle. The bride. Congratulations on your wedding. His tone was polite but dismissive. He looked at her the way someone might look at a minor inconvenience. Then he turned to me, his whole face softening. Dance with me. The ceremony hasn't even started. I don't care. He pulled me to the outdoor garden where music played softly. I need to hold you. We swayed together, and I felt eyes on us. Good. Let them watch. Let David see exactly what he'd lost. Your brothers threatened to kill me if I hurt you, Min-jun murmured against my hair. What did you say? That they'd have to get in line behind me. He pulled back to look at me. If I ever hurt you, I'd destroy myself for it. That's very dramatic. I'm a dramatic person. He spun me, making me laugh. Also, I may have told your mother I intend to marry you. I stumbled. You what? She asked my intentions. I told her the truth. His eyes were serious. After today, after this is over, I want forever with you, Amara. I want to do this right. Court you, romance you, prove every single day that I'm worthy of you. Min-jun. His phone buzzed. He checked it, and his expression went cold. They're here. My blood ran ice. Where? Service entrance. 3 men. He was already moving, pulling me toward the main hall. Stay with the crowd. My team is moving into position. I'm not letting you face them alone. You're not. But I need you safe. He kissed me hard. Trust me. Please. Before I could respond, gunshots rang out. Screams erupted. Guests scattered. Min-jun shoved me behind a pillar, his body shielding mine. Stay down, he ordered. Then he was gone, moving toward the danger with deadly purpose. I watched in horror as 3 men in suits pushed through the crowd. Park Jin-woo led them, gun drawn. Kang! He shouted. You should have come alone. Min-jun stepped into view, hands raised. I'm here. Let these people go. This is between us. You cost me everything. The Busan deal, my reputation, my money. Park's gun swung wildly. Where is she? Where's your pretty little girlfriend? Far from here. Safe from you. Liar. Park's eyes found me behind the pillar. There. Everything happened at once. Park aimed at me. Min-jun lunged. I heard more gunshots, saw Min-jun's security team swarm in, saw Park go down. And saw Min-jun stumble, hand pressed to his side, blood seeping through his fingers. No. I screamed, running to him. He caught me as he fell, pulling me down with him. I'm okay. I'm okay. You're shot. Barely grazed. He smiled, even as pain creased his face. Told you I'd protect you. Chaos surrounded us. Security had Park and his men pinned. Police sirens wailed. My family was screaming my name. But all I could see was Min-jun, bleeding in my arms. You stupid, heroic idiot, I sobbed. You could have died. Worth it. He touched my face. You're safe. That's all that matters. If you die, I will never forgive you. Not dying. Takes more than this to kill me. He winced. But maybe you could kiss me? For medicinal purposes. I laughed through tears and kissed him, tasting salt and fear and love. When the ambulance arrived, I refused to leave his side. At the hospital, while doctors treated his wound, actually just a graze, thank God, my entire family crowded the waiting room. My mother held my hand. That man took a bullet for you. I know. He loves you. Really loves you. I know. I wiped my eyes. I love him too, Mama. I know it's fast and crazy, but love doesn't follow timelines, baby girl. She kissed my forehead. When you know, you know. Hours later, Min-jun was released with stitches and strict orders to rest. We drove back to his hotel in silence, my hand in his. Some wedding date I turned out to be, he finally said. Are you kidding? You're all anyone will talk about for years. I squeezed his hand. Plus, you completely overshadowed David and Michelle. Mission accomplished. Did I at least make him jealous? He actually cried. Might have been from the gunfire, but I'm counting it as a win. He laughed, then winced. Don't make me laugh. Hurts. At his hotel suite, I helped him to the bed. You should rest. Stay with me. I'm not going anywhere. I curled up beside him, careful of his injury, and he pulled me close with his good arm. Amara. I meant what I said. About forever. About marrying you. His voice was soft. I know it's fast. I know we started this as a fake relationship, but nothing about how I feel is fake. I propped myself up to look at him. Are you seriously proposing while hopped up on painkillers and fresh from a gunfight? Would you prefer I wait? Do it properly? Rose petals and candlelight and a ring that costs more than a car. Actually. I kissed him softly. I kind of love that you're doing it now. Very us. Is that a yes? I pretended to think about it. Let me see. Marry a Korean Mafia CEO who got shot protecting me, makes me laugh, and looks at me like I'm his entire world. I grinned. Yeah, that's a yes. His smile was brighter than the Lagos sun. Really? Really? But you're buying me that expensive ring anyway. And we're having the longest engagement ever because I want to actually date you first. Deal. He pulled me down for a kiss that was tender and perfect and full of promise. Outside, the sun set over Lagos, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and reds. My phone buzzed with messages. My mother demanding details, Jade screaming in all caps, even a grudging congratulations from one of my brothers. And one message that made me laugh out loud. From David, I made a mistake. Can we talk? I showed Min-jun, who snorted. What are you going to say? I typed quickly, no thanks. I upgraded. Then I blocked the number and tossed my phone aside. No regrets. Min-jun asked. I looked at this beautiful, dangerous, ridiculous man who'd somehow become my entire heart in less than a week. Not a single one. He pulled me closer, and we fell asleep tangled together, safe and whole and stupidly, impossibly in love. 3 months later, at that pojangmaka with the red tent, sitting on plastic stools and eating tteokbokki, Min-jun got down on one knee with a ring that definitely cost more than a car. I said yes before he even finished asking. And my mother? She called crying happy tears, saying the video of our engagement that someone posted got 50,000 views. I guess I proved her wrong after all. They survived. They got engaged. And Amara got her revenge and her happily ever after. But wait, this is just part 1 of their story. Part 2 will cover their engagement, meeting Min-jun's family, and that wedding night we've all been waiting for. Fire. If you've made it this far, you need to subscribe and smash that like button. We did it. My mom said this wouldn't hit 10k views, but look at us. Thank you for proving her wrong. Comment below if you want part 2. The steam level is going to be off the charts. 2 hearts. Drop a comments if you're Team Amara and Min-jun forever.